is Brett Endies. I'm a professional dog trainer. I figured I would start my videos with that more often so you know who's talking. Been doing this for 30 years. I specialize in severe problem behaviors in dogs. It really is. People joke about it, but it is training owners. But I've learned to really dissect and understand and become better and more evolved as a dog trainer, helping people who might not, understand their dogs or just aren't, or babying their dogs, if you want to call it. But there's a reason why. There's a few reasons why. I'll talk about one reason why in this video. So I've mentioned many times, I even named my company, it's called the Dog Savant. I'm on the autism spectrum. I've struggled with a lot of shit my entire life as a result, but one thing that's going to benefit is it gives me an ability to see things without a filter. I'm kind of seeing things without, all these social nuances and niceties and things that people do. And this is the things we struggle with, people on the spectrum, especially people more high functioning, where we can appear normal, we can sometimes seem normal when we're interacting. We struggle with all that stuff. Right? It's called masking. You can look that up. Why is this? Because what I've learned, and when I talk with other people, I always talk about my secret autism groups. We're on Facebook, we'll communicate and talk about, not telepathically, we talk, and we discuss that this is not uncommon, and a lot of times when people respond to us, it's a very negative way. When we're like, we're not trying to say anything rude or harm people. We're not in this little, we call it a game, where there's unseen things and things that people are supposed to say or not supposed to say, even though it's obvious as your nose is on your face. And people get mad at that, because what we discuss and what I've learned is a lot of people carry a lot of fear of revealing their full essence to others. I don't know why, and I think that's what makes people uncomfortable with me, is that I'm me. I'm not going to buffer things. I'm not going to lie to you, but you might not like that I'm not lying to you. I don't understand that. I hate when people lie to me, even to be nice to me. People say, well, everyone's like this. I tell them I'm not like this, and other autistic people are not like this. So you got to stop that. Psychologists who are normal, right? They don't, neurotypical they call it, not neurodivergent like us. They don't get it. They're just not understanding. It's not that it's better or worse. It's they don't see it. They can't. And they have to at least I can't see China, but I could visualize China. I don't speak Mandarin, but I can kind of learn a couple words, understand what they're trying to express, how I would see it. So, and you do that, right? You're not totally acting well, this is how it should be. I mean, I guess some people do that when they go to other countries, but usually you adjust when you're dealing with someone different or with a child. And with a dog, we sort of do, but we don't. And that's the problem, is that dogs are operating in this very unfiltered way, literal communication, and it's not about being nice. A lot of people, I'll show up to their house. This is a perfect example, so I'm staying on track here for you. And we've done a lesson or two, right? So they know me. We know what we have to do. We've addressed the issue, and one of the main issues people deal with often is when people come to their house. So I text them on the way, hey, you know what to do now. Get your dog on a leash, have them ready at the, in their place. When I come, either keep them in place or answer the door, them at your side, but they've got to sit, because sitting is the replacement behavior for the chaos. Calmly sitting, having some preparation training, and then what happens, maybe they'll do that, but when they open the door, they're like, oh, hey, Brett, how you doing? I'm like, look at your dog. Your dog's going wild right now, and they just don't see it. They don't understand the urgency based on how their dog is caught up in it, because they're focusing more on saying hi to me and waiting for me to say hi back and ask how your day is and ask about the weather. And in the meantime, the dogs are like, what the fuck is going on here? There's chaos going on, and you're just sitting there looking into the space talking about it, because the dogs don't get it. And right there, that's not the world they exist in. It's not kind of the world I exist in either. It's all right, great, hi, let's get down to business. And people, I've had about a month ago, a guy's wife got upset at me and started commenting. Listen, I go, I don't usually tell people this, but I'm autistic, and I'm taken back actually by how you're reacting to me when I'm here as your dog trainer, telling you what to do with your dog precisely at the moment where you're having an issue where your dog is running up to people and getting overstimulated by new presentations and greetings. But you're reacting to me. Reality is a lot of people have too strong a narcissistic tendency, and it doesn't mean they're all narcissistic personality disorder, but people, when their little feeling thing doesn't get a stroke, even though it was not about her, it was not about me, it was about the dog. It was always about the dog. And I've had too many interactions like that. I say, well, Brett, why don't you adjust yourself? It's like, so you want me to allow a behavior to occur that they're trying me to help them with, me who's done this for a very long time and is really aware, not just from my wiring, but just being around these situations of what's going to help the dogs and how the dog is seeing it. Have some empathy. Your dog is going wild and you're worried about whether or not I said hi to you? That's my point of it. And that's, again, the things that we get in trouble. But thank thank heavens that I have some ability to make, I make a good living doing this because I see it to the core. And what happens? Dogs sense that. What happens? I'm not concerned about my ego being fed when there's a situation at hand that the dogs need. If somebody's I see it. Like, I'll be out in public, they're leading their dog great. They're healing their dog. They're doing such a bang-up job. We're at a park, and then they go meet someone, and then their dog just runs up to them, or they meet another dog, and they just let them do whatever they want. I'm like, what happened there? Why didn't you stay with it to the very end? Well, the people were there, and I didn't want to be rude, or I was focusing on saying hi to them, or explaining what we're doing. I'm like, and how did your dog perceive it during that entire interaction? And then when you finally stepped in, what did the dog feel? The priority was not to be the pack leader. The priority was not to give the pack direction. The priority was to follow, again, this thing that we get caught up in. And sometimes we're just busy. We're not being distracted that way. But the dogs are observing this nonstop. Your little child with autism is seeing this stuff, and you're just not connecting with them. Or you're even worse, you're doing what everyone did to me, was you punish and criticize. Not everyone. I had some teachers actually who really saw it, and my stepmother and some other people that were my dad. But a lot of people, I don't go off on that subject too, but a lot of people who did wrong by me, and still to this day. I had yesterday with a mortgage lender. I did a video about this, but basically he made a big promise. I says, you made a promise that left me holding the bag, and you could have researched this instead of being all about getting it, and you weren't detailed enough, and I had to waste an entire day and a lot of stress over something that could have easily been avoided. And then when I point this out, like, because it was his fault, starts to turn it on me and all these things. It's like, what is wrong with people? And more than ever, they're like this. And again, I'll talk about this and have talked about it in other videos, but when it comes to dogs, and your dog is struggling, hey, if your dog's chilling, your dog has these life skills, you get a pass, I guess. I just won't really love interacting with you much because but reality is that if your dog, you got to get out of yourself and see what your dog needs. You got to take a step back and whatever it is, act a little more autistic. Seriously, I joke, I says, I teach neurotypical people or holistic people to think like autistic people for the sake of helping their dogs. I'll leave it at that. Thank you for all the new subscribers, people, feedback, comments, subscribing, all that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to really try to do regular videos here on this channel and get a little bit of a community of like-minded people here connecting. And maybe I can help you with your dogs, give some insights to autism too.